Right, I'm delighted to be joined by Matty, the Jedi Floyd. You've been up to so much since I last saw you. You've got a massive fight coming up with Shane Mosley. You've spent the last few days with Conor McGregor. Let's start there. You've been around the Notorious, so tell me the story.
I was just in Ireland before I got here. I was training with Phil Sutcliffe. He's a legend. He's got Crumlin boxing gym. My mum's from Crumlin. So yeah, I got to. It's funny how boxing brought me back to Ireland at the beginning of the year, and so I've met family that didn't even know I existed. Anyway, so one thing's led to another. I'm training with Phil Sutcliffe now. He's a legend. Stayed with him at his gym. That's Crumlin Boxing Gym, and he's Conor's boxing coach. And so yeah, I met Conor for all that, and I've been there for the last. How long was I there for? Probably the last week or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty amazing. Tell me what it's like being around Conor, because he's a pretty special fighter.
Yeah, he's cool, man. And yeah, he's sick. It's good. It's good. Obviously, I want to fight the best in the world. So being around other fighters that are the best, in the world, it's great to be around all that and yeah, watch them and learn and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, he's built for big moments. He has so many big wins, from Jose Aldo to Eddie Alvarez to Nate Diaz. Now it's your turn to go into an absolutely massive fight, taking on Shane Mosley, who is undeniably one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boxing gloves. So was Conor McGregor able to give you any advice going into this?
We're talking about Floyd. Obviously, he fought Floyd Mayweather, and the first, when we first started talking about it, he's like, "Fuck, Shane almost beat Floyd, didn't he?" As we all know. And yeah, so yeah, Shane did almost beat Floyd. I thought he was gonna beat him after that punch, and yeah, that's sort of what we were talking about. Actually, yeah, he did. We were talking about it a bit. He was, everyone was saying how quick he is and sort of how he moves and what he's gonna do, and we're just the normal talk that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we touch on Shane Mosley, who's such a legend, and the fact that he rocked Floyd Mayweather, one of the very few people to do that. He's been in the ring with Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, all these greats. I remember the time where you told me about sparring Shane Mosley. You were in awe of him then. Now you're going in to fight him. You've fought a former world champion in the past in Cyril Moncon, but this is just a level above that.
Yeah, it is. It is. He's, this is a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest of all time. Sparring him. All them years ago, I wouldn't call it sparring. I was just a teenager. He was just, how he said earlier, he just used to jump in with the kids, which, what a lot of people at that level, this was just before he fought, around probably Floyd Mayweather. He was a legend then. He was a superstar then, and he didn't have to get in the ring with kids and that, and he did. So I was in, awe of him, and he was the first, celebrity. I'm from Western Australia, so you don't bump into celebrities. He was the first over proper celebrity, that I got to meet, proper boxer that I got to meet at a gym and things like that. But when I met him, that all was a feeling, and maybe that was destiny. Now I think, maybe I was destined to fight him.
100%. It's amazing that this whole thing has come full circle. Now you're going to be setting foot inside the squared circle with Shane Mosley. I know he's a legend, but what's your prediction for this one? Do you think you'll stop him?
Yeah, man. I think I'll, obviously, I know, everyone I fight, I know I'm going to win. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna, he's a legend. He's a hero of mine. But I don't know how I feel about that. But that's what's gonna happen, man. It's just, I don't think he'd want anything but me to go out there and fight at my best. He wouldn't respect me if I didn't go out there and wanting to do that. So yeah, I say that obviously respectfully, but that's what's gonna happen.
100%. Obviously, this fight is going to be taking place in London, but you'll have an army back home in Australia watching this one, cheering you on. You obviously do so many great things in Pinky's gym, helping young lads who've maybe gone down a wrong path get back on the right one. Joe Lewis, an example of somebody you've helped a lot. He's now going to be fighting for a Western Australia title. So can you tell me a little bit about that fight for Joel and the journey that you two have been on together?
I took Joel in a long time ago when he was a kid. He was on the wrong path and he was in and out of rehab and things like that, and I pretty much said to him, all the boys know with me, if you touch that stuff, it's not gonna be good for him, so from day one he stopped using, and he hasn't looked back since, and he's obviously, I think he's fighting for more, is it WA title? He's already Australian champion.
Yeah.
He's already Australian champion. it must be just another WA title or something.
Yeah, WA state title.
But I think there's more to the fight because there's a bit of beef between them two, him and Fano. Fano is about, I think he's a bit older now, but about 10 years ago, everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing in that, and the same way, and so there's beef tension between them two. They were supposed to have a fight earlier on, and Fano thought that Joel ducked him, but Joel wouldn't duck anyone. Joel probably had whatever, I can't remember what happened now, but he doesn't duck anyone. So it's just, there's a bit of beef between that fight. So that'll be a big fight for Perth. West Australia, yeah, it's going to be, Joel will win. He's got the fight. Joel will beat anyone in his weight, so.
I'm just saying, well, we're all looking forward to Joel's fight. We're also looking forward to your fight. It's a massive one, Matty, an opportunity to get in there with one of the greats that's ever done it, and will ultimately define your career. It's a pretty special achievement that you've managed this. But before I let you go, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just, like what I've told you from day one before this fight, that I fight for men's mental health, and I fight to show every man, I've said from day one, I fight to show every man, whether they're in, juvenile or prison, mental hospitals, they've been abused, had trouble, I show any man that's, 28 years old sitting in a prison right now that anything can be done, that's what this is, for me, that's my number one. It's always been my number one, to show any man that as long as they keep pushing forward, anything can be done. And obviously my selfish reasons are coming through now. I always said to you, my number two, my selfish reasons to fight the best in the world. And obviously Shane is one of the greatest of all time. I know he's not the best in the world today, but hopefully that will be coming up after Shane Mosley, because that's what I want.